that's out. Which one is the starter relay? So let me just turn it off a bit, then start listening by yourself. When we touch power, the test light should light up. 3, 2, 1. I'm so nerve-wracked. The multimeter says there's continuity. This is not the starter relay. When I try to turn the key, nothing happens. This is the wire that we need. Hey guys, so welcome back to today's video, and today's video we're going to be installing a kill switch. So when installing that kill switch, we're going to need different types of tools. So one of the tools that I'm going to be using is a multimeter, a circuit tester, or a circuit switch. So the kind of kill switch that I want to install onto my car is the one which is going to be cutting power onto the starter. So when you turn the key, there's a signal which is sent onto the starter solenoid. So that signal, when it's sent onto the starter solenoid, it activates the solenoid, and the solenoid then turns the starter. So what I want to do is that I want to kill power which goes onto the starter solenoid when you turn the key, so that when you turn the key, when you turn on the kill switch, it will then kill power, so the starter is not going to turn. So I'm choosing this kind of kill switch because I think, to me, it's not damaging compared to the one which goes to the fuel pump relay. So the one which goes to the fuel pump relay, it's going to cut fuel onto the engine, but when you're cutting fuel onto the engine, when you keep turning the key, the starter will continuously turn, and it might in turn fry your starter. So I don't want to choose that option because it will fry the starter, and the starter might get damaged, or either the flywheel might get damaged because the starter will be continuously turning and try to turn the car on while it's busy rolling the flywheel. So I don't want to choose the fuel pump method. I'll rather choose the starter method, because when you turn on the key, the fuel pump will prime, the fuel will run, but the power onto the starter will not be supplied, so the starter will not be able to turn. What we're going to do that, we need to find the starter relay. After finding the starter relay, we need to find the power which is sent onto the solenoid when you turn the key. So we're going to cut a circuit in between there, then we're going to bridge a circuit with a switch like this. So this switch is just a two-way switch which has an on and off position, and that's basically it. So right now what I'm going to do is try to find the starter relay on the car. I don't know which one it is, but I know there is a starter relay on this car, so let's just get on to that right now. So the relays for the Jetta Mk5 are found on this compartment box here. So you'll need to open up the compartment box, then squeeze it with one hand from the sides like this. Then after squeezing it, just pull it back towards you, just like that, and it'll come off. So when that is off, you'll be exposed to these guys right here. So of all of these guys right here, there's one that we're looking for, and I think the one that we're looking for is right here. I think it's this number 53, which is the starter relay, but I'm not sure, so that's why we have to confirm it. So in order to get to this point, this means we have to remove the whole panel right here. So let's just get on to removing the panel. So to remove this panel, there are two T20 screws right here, so we need to remove those. So after removing the two T20 screws, we need to remove the light switch. So to remove the light switch, you only press in, turn it, then pull out. Okay, you press it, turn it, then pull out. So that's how you remove it. So after removing it, you'll see another screw inside here. So the first thing you need to do before you can just pull out that screw is just to remove this clip right here. You need to remove the connector. You push in, then pull out. Then that is out. There's a screw in right here. We need to remove this screw as well. So it's also a T20. There's another screw which is behind this thing. So all we need to do is just to pull the steering wheel down, then remove the screw which is hidden right here. So to remove this clip, you just need to pull gently. I've already removed the other side, but just pull gently. It will come out. That's it. This is the screw that was hidden, so you need to also remove this screw as well. What we need to do right now is to remove this panel as well. Pull out this, then it will go out just like that. So before you can get this out, there's also two screws right here which you need to remove. So what we need to do right now is just to try to remove this panel. So here it is, the panel is out. So we also have this connector right here. So this connector right here has a thing that you need to pull down. I'm not sure if you can see it. This pin right here, this, just pull down and wiggle it a bit, and out. You need to see something like this after removing all that we've removed. So now that is removed, there's a panel underneath here, so you need to remove this screw. You also need to remove this one as well. So it's only two screws right here, then we'll be able to pull this panel out. Okay, this is out. Now we can be able to pull this panel out. So just slide the panel onto the front. After sliding it to the front, then it comes down just like this. So that's how simple the panel goes. So here's the OBD port. You need to remove the OBD port by just pushing it out. But first I'm going to remove the footwell lights. Just pinch these connectors, then remove it. So after removing that, just to push back on here, I'm going to start on the other side and then do the other side. I'm not sure if you can see. Then do the other side. I'm going to come to the top and press it down. Going to use a screw here. Then the OBD port clicked out. Just push it gently. Finish up the rest. Okay, that's out. Now this relay panel needs to come down so that we can be able to test which ones are the starter wires. So here's how to do it. It's very simple. I'm underneath here. So now you're going to see two pins. I'm not sure if you can see the first one right here. Just follow my finger. I'm not able to twist my finger. Fuck. This place is very awkward and the space is very small, but because I want to show you everything, I'm going to try my best. So if you can see my finger right here, right there, here, can you see the screwdriver right now? Because my finger was big. So here's the screwdriver. There's this part right here. You need to pinch it in. This part right here at the end. This part right here, you need to pinch it in. On the other side as well, there's the same connector like that one. Where there's my hand here, exactly where there's my hand. Can you see? Yes, just right there, right here, right there. If you can see my fingernail right there, that's why you need to pinch in, then push it inside. Pinch this part, then this whole wiring is going to come down. So that's what I need to do right now. Then I'm going to take it out. Right now, just to pinch those places that I showed you. The first side is pinched out. Then I'm going for the other side. Pinched it down as well. Now, I'm not sure if you can see, but the relay box is just coming down very simply. So it may be caught in the way right here because there's some heater hoses or something, but it shouldn't be a struggle to get it out. As you can see right now, it's loose. I need to finesse it out of there. So let me try the finessing. There is some places where it's catching, honestly. So I think I'll need to further remove this. So let me just remove this. So I've unscrewed these holes. This is what was making it difficult. This should come out very easily. Okay. Now we have it. What we need to see right now is which one is the starter relay. Then work on it. Firstly, I'm going to remove relay number 53 and see if anything happens. So right now I'm going to put the car on neutral and start the car and see which relay clicks. So let's have a listen. So it seems like this is the relay. This is the relay which I heard click. So let me just turn it off a bit. Then start listening by yourself. This is the starter relay now. So now that we know that this is the starter relay, what we need to do right now is to remove it and see if the car is going to start or not. Make sure you see how it goes in so that you don't mistake it. Okay, the relay is out. It goes in like this. I'm going to hold it like this and start the car and see if the car starts. So this is not the starter relay. So let's get it back in. The relay is now back in. Now what we need to do is see if this one is not the starter relay itself, because there are so many relays here, but we don't know which one is the one that we're looking for. So we're gonna try this one right now. I'm going to remove this 53 and see what happens. 53 is out. Let's try to start the car. Nothing happens. So relay 53 is the starter relay because the car is on. As you can see, the car is on. When I try to turn the key, nothing happens. So what we need to do right now is find out which side is giving power and which side is taking power. So when we turn the key, the side which is giving power means that activates the starter solenoid and the car then starts to run. So what we need to do right now is to have this test light. So we're going to be using this test light to see which side has power and which side does not have power. So this is the area of focus. I'm not sure how I'm going to show you this. So you'll have to bear with me here. The camera is going to be a little shaky. So now we're going to put the negative probe onto maybe here. This is the body of the car. When we touch power, the car should light up. So let's see. When we touch power, the test light should light up. There's power here, there's power here. So let's see on the starter relay which side delivers power. This is not the side which delivers power. This is not the side which delivers power. This is not the side which delivers power. This is definitely the side which delivers power. So it means power is here. So now this means we need to cut this wire right here. So we need to trace this wire back from where it goes into here and put and cut and splice the wire right here. This is where it's going to provide our kill switch. Power comes from here and goes here, because on this other side, as you can see right now, on this other side that I'm touching, there's no power into the probes. When I touch here, you see that there's power. So we need to remove this panel, and then we're going to be able to then know which side we need to be cutting. That's where we need to put our kill switch. Because the car has power, you can still play your music, but you just won't have anything. Only the starter doesn't have power. So I don't want to get a copyright. So we're definitely sure that that's the starter relay. Now what we need to do is to remove the battery, then start working on the car. So the next thing on the menu right now is to remove this piece. So you press this in, push it in, then pull this part back. As you can see, this is coming out. So the only thing that's making it not want to come out is this fuse panel. So you just need to finesse it out, then see how to get it out perfectly. So okay, we got something on it at least. So here it is right now. So this is what we have. So to trace the wire which we found the positive on it, so we need to just keep the connector like this. So to pull this harness back, you need to pull this up like this, pull it up, then pull this up, then it will release this harness. So pull this up and pull this down, then push this back while holding it in this way. So the wire that we're looking for is the wire on this side. So we need to trace that wire. This is the wire that we need. This is the black wire right here. This is the wire that we need, which gives power onto this one to trigger the starter. So we need to cut this black wire and then solder it up. So right now I'm at a point of no return where I have to cut these wires. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to cut the red wire instead of the black wire. This is the wire which is going to get cut, and it's really bulky. So point of no return. 3, 2, 1. I'm so nerve-wracked. Cut. So as you can see, these wires are so bulky because these are the starter wires. So you'll need to get a big wire as well, which is going to be able to handle the power which goes on to the starter. Okay, the wire strip. This is not a fancy wire stripper, but it does do the job as well. And now I'm going for the other one. Okay, stripped as well. So I'm going to be using this kind of connectors. So with these connectors, you're gonna get the wire that you need through there. But this is too long, so I'm going to make it go in the way. Maybe half. I'll cut here, then take the wires from there and put them on this side. Then I'll crimp them together. So obviously you need 2 wires. For me, I'm going to use a red and black, but for you, you can use whatever wire you want. So right now connections have been made. As you can see, this is too solid. It's not going anywhere. So what I figured out is that I forgot to put a heat shrink over here, but there's no bare metal which has been exposed. So there actually is a bit. So luckily I was able to get another heat shrink through. So here's how it's looking. So it's already heat shrinked, and the other one as well is already shrinked. But still, with these connections as they are right now, I still want to put a tape over them just for maximum safety. So we now taped up and it's shrinked up. So it's taped up. Now, before we do anything further, we need to make sure that there's continuity so that we can be able to then put things together, then start with the kill switch on the other side. So checking for continuity is pretty much simple. So what you need to do is just to make sure that you turn your multimeter onto this one right here. So the multimeter is where we want it to be. So I'm going to put this one right here. Take this connector and put it here, then put the other one at the end of the wire. So if we hear a beep, that means the wire is good. Now we can go ahead and continue with the installation. So here's our moment of truth. I'm not sure if you can hear the beep, but the multimeter says there's continuity. So the wire is good. We need to put this probe here and check here. There's continuity. So we are good on that. We also need to check this one right here. Okay. Now we need to put the other probe on here. There's continuity. There is continuity. So we now can go on through the rest of the wiring. So I'm also going to do the same thing on the black wire. So yeah. So now the connections have been finished. They're just now waiting to be plugged on here. So right now what I'm going to do is to route the wires, and obviously I cannot show that part because it is a security risk, which is why I'm doing this job in the first place. So you'll have to bear with me right now. So you'll have to be creative and play with yourself and see where you're putting the wires. So I'm unfortunately not going to show the next step because I'm going to be, having to hide this so that it is only known by me. So I'm gonna see you when I'm done routing the wires. I've routed the wires through places which I want the kill switch to be in. I've already test fitted the switch as well. So how you want to fit your kill switch is that you need to find a place which is solid, because when you're busy turning it off and on, you don't want it to be flipping and also lose connection sometimes. So for example, let's say this is a solid place or a metal place. You'll put your kill switch through here. So with the washers that I've added, I've got to add new washers here, the washers that I've got to add. So I'll put one at the bottom, put one at the top. I'm going to put this plate on there, put it here, then add the two securing bolts. I'm going to put this thread locker, and when I put this thread locker, I know for sure that the bolts won't go anywhere and the switch will be in one place. So right now, let me put the switch in, and then we're gonna start testing it out if it really works. And if it works, then we're gonna put everything back together. Okay, so now that the kill switch is in position and ready to fire on my command, what I need to do right now is just to connect these starter wires. I'm going to connect them with these wires which are going to the kill switch. So if you can see, I've also put something to cover these wires, so wherever they are going, these wires are protected. So even if they can touch the body of the car, there's no way these wires are going to cause any electrical faults. So I'm done with the connections. Right, what I need to do right now is just to put this relay bracket just to hold the relay in place. So the relay goes in this way. Here it click, then you know for sure it's seated. So this part needs to go back in first because it's the one which got out last. I'm trying to show you how I'm trying to put it back in. I'm not sure where I can put the phone so you can see what I'm doing, but I'm going to try to find the best angle, then put the phone there so that you can see what I'm trying to do. So the relay panel is in. What you need to find is the slot in which this panel slides into. So there's a slot in here, then you're gonna get it to click and sit in this place. Now that this is in, what we need to do right now is just to put the lower panel, because for sure we can get this out without having to take this. So in case there's something that didn't go according to plan, you can just take this out instead of having to leave this hanging while we don't need to have it hanging like that. So I'm not sure if you heard it, but the relay box has just clicked to show that it's in position. So that is good. So here goes the starter relay. So you need to remember the orientation. So the starter relay, when we took it out, it was like this. So always remember the orientation. That's if they do not go one way. But if they go one way, then You don't have to remember anything. It will sit. I think that's well seated. It's not going anywhere. So now I'm going to put the battery and start trying to see if what we did has worked or not. So before we test the car, we're also gonna put this hose in because this hose does not stand in the way of anything, just in case anything doesn't work. This is where you need to connect the hose and then bolt it up right there. So there's the hose, it's connected where I told you that it goes in. So after connecting there, you'll see this piece line up just like that, and you're just gonna put a screw on here. I'm still going to keep this on because I just want to check the relay right now if it works or not. Yeah, I was scared. So here we go, moment of truth. Now the kill switch is on the off position, meaning that there's no power going onto the starter relay. So when we turn on the key and then try to start the car should not start. But let me just stop talking and let's see. Let's start up the car. Can you see? The car is not starting. The car is not starting because the starter relay has been turned off. Now let me turn on the kill switch and let's see. So now the relay is on the on position, which means now we have power onto the starter. So right now let's see. There we go. It's working. Turn it off. Then let's switch off the relay and see if the car is going to start. Nothing. On position, run. The car runs. So we're good. So this has worked. Now right now we can put everything back together because we're sure the car can start and everything works. So let's put everything back together. So the first thing to go back in is this footwell cover with the OBD slot and the footwell lights. So what you need to do before you can put it on there is to push the OBD port in. You'll hear a click when it's in. The footwell connector should just click right in as well. So next thing on the menu is the panel, which goes right here. I'm going to put this instrument cluster control plate. This side is aligned. Now we need to align the side where it holds on the fuse panel. That side is aligned as well. This is the next screw to go in. That is tight, not going anywhere. This is in and very tight. This is tight. Now here's the light switch connector. So first plug that in. So this goes in like this. Push it in. Pushing back the connector and the cabling. Just put the light switch like this. Put it in its position. Then you're gonna turn it back to 0. Then it's locked in place. So the glove box compartment needs to hook on this. So you just put it in here like this. And make sure that those hooks are in there. So it's in position right now, as you can see, but you need to push it back in. That's it. What's next is to put on this cover right here. So you just push it onto these pieces right here. It came out on the other side. Oh shit, it broke. Lesson learned. That's what you get for doing things with one hand. So let me try to get it back in with 2 hands because I already broke the other clip. So I don't want to break the other one as well. So now the other one is in. Now the next thing on the menu is the fuse box cover. So the fuse box cover, you first need to put it and make sure that it's seated. After making sure that it's seated, just hit it like this. And that's it. This is seated, so it's not going anywhere. So that's it for today's video, guys. So I hope today's video made you see how to put a kill switch onto your car, because if you live in South Africa, you know why you need a kill switch, because you know how much cars are being stolen, especially the VWs, because they are so much in demand in the market. So if you like this video, then subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way.